All right, here we go.
Yep.
Episode 5 of the Professional Casual Fans podcast. Who knew we would get this far? Brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah,
Just
it does.
all
It
the
really
progress
does.
we've
When
made.
we hit the double digits, it will really just hit us real hard.
Yeah,
We'll
you're
have to pop
really
some
into the.
champagne.
I know, yeah. Just cover our rooms in plastic and just
I
go
do like
nuts over
adding the
new.
three. We're gonna get to the three digits eventually.
Oh yeah, that 100th episode is going to be a movie, a real
Yeah,
movie. Like not in the figurative way. Like we're going to make a production.
yeah, we're gonna make a movie.
Yeah. All right. Did you really into the hood look? You kind of look like a half-assed costume of the Emperor from Star Wars.
Dude, I mean, the hood look just works sometimes, especially on the weekends because like I do nothing.
Yeah.
I haven't showered today. Like it's terrible to admit, but like I haven't showered today, so it
No,
probably
you're all
looks a
about.
little.
You're passionate about the podcast. You have no time for anything else. Too
Yeah,
busy with
no
the
time. I'm
rundown. Too busy.
grinding. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
grinding, going down the list of things to do for the podcast.
No time for
Not
women or
playing
anything.
games. Yeah, not
Yeah.
playing games at all. I played 8 hours of Civilization today.
Damn. How'd it go?
Yeah, it was a fun time. I like that game.
I've never
Just
played
taking
that
over the world.
I feel like I always see like advertisements for it. It's like you could take over Germany or something like that.
Yeah, it does.
Like, who are you going to use?
It's just a whole bunch of leaders, and you choose one, and you're like, oh shit. Like I was playing as my boy Teddy Roosevelt earlier. Was killing it.
Hell yeah. That's crazy that he's a video game character. Like, what if he ever knew that? He'd be like, you're going to be a video game character.
He'd be like, what the fuck is that?
He'd be like, stick! Bears! All right. So we got some pick'ems to get to. Like, these games approximately, we have a game that starts in like 9 hours because they have that game over in England. The Jags taking on the Falcons. They're advertising the hell out of the fact that they're going to be playing in Andy's room on Toy Story.
I know. That is the stupidest advertisement scheme ever. Too. Every time I see that, I'm like, I don't want to watch that ever on my TV. Like I see the ad, and it's just the worst animated toys I've ever seen. Like Toy Story legit looks better than the things they're using.
And like, imagine like if you can't get the game like normally, so you have to watch that stream, and you're a Jags fan just watching your team like get railed by the Falcons with this in Andy's room. You're
and
just
it's just fucking Buzz Lightyear zooming around on the screen.
Yeah, watching Buzz just get cleaned out at the goal line, and you're like, you let Jesse do that to you?
Woody's just diming everyone up.
It's just like unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That like, Cowboy's a gunslinger.
Bullseye's just fucking got 300 yards rushing.
Bullseye or Bijan Robinson. He'll be Bullseye for sure. Just running up and down the field.
Trevor Lawrence is Jesse, for sure.
He's that old dude that was he's that old ass toy.
The Prospector.
Yeah.
Wait, there's
the dude.
And Wheezy. Wheezy's the really old penguin.
No, I'm talking about the Prospector with Jesse. He's that dude.
Prospector was an asshole. Yeah.
He was.
Ripped up Woody.
But talking about our predictions and stuff.
Now let's just keep talking about Toy Story for the entire time.
Toy Story.
All of the irrelevant characters. Like, remember Lotso?
Nah, Don. The most underrated Toy Story character is that doll head on just the 8 mechanical legs.
Yeah, in Sid's room.
Yeah. But it has a heart.
They should have done a spinoff about Sid. What he's up to.
They really should have.
There's a lot of
he's that one actor He's that one actor now. You know, who is he? He did like I can't remember. He did the Joker in Arkham in
Oh,
Gotham,
that's
the
him.
show. I mean, I don't think he actually was the actor. He just looks like the younger version of that guy. Like,
Dude, Sid was fucking twisted.
Sid was, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sid was the worst.
It was just fucking insane. We all knew a kid like Sid. You're just like everybody was like, God,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
over there
just
digging
ripping
his
apart
fingers.
everything.
Yeah, just like he's the kid who would like after it would rain would like drink puddle water.
Like, what are you doing, dog? You can
He'd be, like,
literally
leaned
just go
over.
inside.
All right, let's get to the pick'ems. You're right. Let's no more Toy Story talk.
All right, so our record going into this week, I am 19-13, and you're 22-10. So I have ground to catch up on.
Pretty neck and neck there.
Pretty neck and neck to two. Well, I mean, we nailed it. The first week.
First week we played it as safe as we possibly could, and
yeah, dog,
honestly,
we were just with each other. It did work out. It did.
Oh.
But so first game in Andy's toy room, Falcons at Jags. Who you got?
The Andy's toy room showdown. Fucking Pixar pounding. I'm gonna go Jags. I don't think that. I think the Jags are a decent team. I think they're the best team in that division. And they got to get it together. I think Doug Peterson's too good of a coach for them to. And like, there's too much talent on both sides of the ball for them to be playing this lackluster. I don't see them losing 2 in a row to 2 underwhelming teams. So I got Jags winning 27-13.
27-13.
No, I'll go 20-13. 20-13.
20-13.
There we go.
It's the Calvin Ridley Bowl also. Both teams he's played for. Yeah, Calvin Ridley gets to battle the Falcons for the first time. Also, it's the Jags' hometown. Their real home stadium, London. They never lose in London. I think they lost last year, though, in London. So don't quote me on that, but it feels like they never lose in London. And the Jags also probably don't want to fall too far behind the Colts because the Colts have an interesting matchup. So I'm taking the Jags also. It's 27-21. Trevor Lawrence needs to prove it again this game that, at the end of last year wasn't just a fluke. We got to see it again,
Got to show some consistency. And like I said, there's too many weapons on that offense right now for them to not be playing well. And defensively, they've been
be throwing it, man. Throw it to Calvin more.
And get ETN going too. Like, that's the other thing too, is if you can get him going, it takes a lot of pressure off of them, and he's the kind of back who can kind of completely turn a game on its side. So
yeah, ETN's also.
I think Atlanta's just kind of. I think they're slow. It's becoming very prevalent. I think that Desmond Ridder just doesn't have it. Like, he just doesn't look. Like, it just looks very strained for him to do anything. So
yeah, I like all their pieces on the Falcons besides their quarterback. Like, I like their tight end, Pitts. I mean, he hasn't really proved anything, but like, you look at Pitts and you're like, that dude should be a dog in this league. Mm-hmm. Also, Drake London, he makes spectacular catches like every week in traffic, and it's just the man giving him the ball. Like, I watched that game all last week, and he was just sailing the ball most of the time. Like, it just doesn't look right coming out of Ridder saying.
No. All right, what's our next game?
Dolphins at Bills. And the Dolphins are somehow the underdog after coming off a 70-20 win. They're 3-point underdogs, which I don't really understand. I think all the Dolphins wins have been like more impressive besides the Broncos game. Like, they should have won that game, but like, just how they did it was disrespectful, and that's the impressive part. They came out of the game just like, it's a shame we had to put a limit on what we could store.
Yeah, they should have
So,
taken
and
Robbie Chosen's advice and just ran it up to 100. Just keep
100.
it going.
Definitely. And the Bills, I mean, the Bills right now do have a top 2 defense in like a lot of stats, but I think that's more based off of like the quarterbacks they've been playing. You got like Zach Wilson and who was the other guy they played? Garoppolo and then Howe.
Sammy
And I mean,
Howell.
Howe put up the numbers against Denver, but maybe Denver's defense is just like busted.
Yeah, you get 70 dropped on you. I don't know how competitive of a team you are.
Yeah, that changes the view of that game a little bit.
It does. It makes things. Oh, there we go. AAA championship. Colton Cowser just hit a bomb for the Tides.
Oh, there we go.
Took
Colton
the lead.
Cowser. What a dog.
Something he could never do in the majors for some reason. But next year he's got it. Next year he's doing it.
Yeah.
I think that was
And
a
then,
grand slam.
oh, he just slammed on him?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Bust
He
out the
blasted
rye
that thing
bread,
center field.
Grandma.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, back on the topic.
Also, last point. Skylar Thompson, or is that his name? Almost beat him last year in the playoffs. Like, as their starting quarterback for the Dolphins. His name was like Skylar something. Yeah. So I'm taking the Dolphins 31-27.
Yeah, I think, you see this a lot, like in the beginning of a season where you have like a really hot team and everybody anoints them the Super Bowl champions right away. And last year it was the Bills because they were pounding everybody into oblivion. And then this year it's the Dolphins. And I just don't know. Like, I think they are a really, really good team. But I don't know how much I believe in Tua, to be honest with you. As a long-term option or as a like going throughout the season. Number one, to stay healthy. And I just don't know how good he actually is. And this is one of those games that it's kind of a toss-up where it's like, are they really going to put up that many points again? And I mean, a lot of people are already comparing them to the greatest show on turf, and it's like it's been 3 weeks. It's like we need to like pump the brakes a little bit. Yes, 70 points is great, but Denver, like we thought, is like completely like a mess. So I'm going to go Buffalo here. I think it's actually going to be a game that is not low scoring, but low scoring for these teams. I'm going to give Buffalo the 28-24 victory. And Josh Allen really shows that he's meaning business this year.
I think I'm a bet on that game, honestly. Because the Dolphins are underdogs. And I'm going to take it.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I thought if anything, it'll be one of those games where they're kind of even money.
Yeah. I mean, that is 3 points, so they're basically just saying because the Bills are home, they think they're going to win because you get 3 points for being home. But I think that's the game to bet on this week. I mean, it could go either way, so don't take me. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take me at my word. Steelers at Texans.
I'm going Steelers. I think
there we go.
Last week and pretty much all season, besides week 1, the Steelers have shown just like that they are a classic kind of Pittsburgh team, and I think they may have, when you take away all the shiny toy aspect of San Francisco, and like everybody just seems to be insane about the Eagles defense too, because I think it's kind of very in style to be that way. But I think when it comes down to it, like I think Pittsburgh may have the best defense in the league. Because I don't know if Philly's defense like I don't know if Philly's defense is good enough to win them games. Like they're good enough to like keep it like so that the other team isn't scoring. But like they need their offense to obviously like drive the ball. Like the Steelers are straight up like they don't have an offense basically. And their defense is doing everything possible to make sure that they are not only in the game but winning the game. San Francisco's defense is great too, and they're just incredible at just rushing the passer. But I just think I just have this weird belief that the Steelers can do a lot of things with this defense, especially with T.J. Watt and Highsmith playing the way they are up front. But yeah, I think, all that aside, Houston's not a very good team. Stroud obviously played great last week, but I don't know. I don't trust them to win 2 weeks in a row. And I think the Steelers just continue to kind of piece it together offensively, but they're talented enough to beat a Texans team that's not that good. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go 24-10. 24-10 Steelers.
See, everything you said has been what I've been saying for like 3 years now. Because we haven't had an offense for 3 years. We've been running the same little jet sweeps and dives, the most inopportune times for 3 years now. Our defense has always had to go out there. I know they put up a lot of we allow a lot of yards, but we never allow points. We don't allow over 30 points most of the time. And if you're not allowing that, you're in every game, I feel like. Especially when you can get a touchdown on defense also. But
yeah, and they keep
just
getting pivotal turnovers. That's the thing, is they keep getting huge turnovers. And you don't see that with many other defenses right now. That can obviously change, but they are getting game-changing turnovers.
Yeah,
every single week.
See, I remember when Big Ben went down and we had to rotate between Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. That defense literally said, if we do not get turnovers, we ain't winning this game. So they got turnovers. It was ridiculous. So ever since that year, when I saw that defense, I was like, oh shit, maybe if Ben comes back and he's 80% as good, we're gonna be a Super Bowl contender. But he was 50% as good. He was only throwing the check down Charlies. And now we've gone to Kenny Pickett, who's also Kenny slings it sometimes, but most of the time we're just looking in the flats or slants, and it's just terrible. But
I forgot about the Duck Hodges era.
Yeah, Duck Hodges. He went 5-2 as a starter for Pittsburgh. Which is wild.
What year was that? Was that the year before or after COVID?
That was I think it was before. That was my senior year in high school.
Duck Hodges.
It was right before COVID. Yep. But I think this is the first time CJ Stroud's gonna not be great on it. He's been great all year long, and I think the Steelers defense are gonna be able to force turnovers, make him make mistakes. You got that pressure coming off both edges. You're bound to make a mistake. Quick choice. You're just slinging it, getting that ball out of your hand. That's kind of how it's been all year. The pressure comes in, quarterback makes a quick read, jumps by a cornerback, or just a terrible throw, and the cornerback ends up with the ball. So I think he's going to make a couple mistakes. Steelers already have forced 8 turnovers this year. So we're going to win this game 27-14 because we're not going to blow them out completely.
There we go.
Yeah, it'll be 21-14 for the longest time, and then we'll kick a couple field goals.
Knows the team like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
They'll keep us angry for about
it will be 2014. It will be 2014 their whole game, and then final drive they'll throw a pick six or something. Minko will jump a pass.
Yeah, they'll be in striking distance the entire time, and then it'll just be
get us on the edge of our seats. Rams at Colts. Another one. I've been for some reason I've been riding with this team this year. I do like the Rams. I don't know what about them I like, really. I like their young receivers a lot. Tutu Atwell and Nakua. Puka Nakua. Yeah, he's been real good. Now, Anthony Richard is
it Puka or Tuka? I think it's Puka, right?
Yeah, I think it's Puka Nakua.
Yeah.
Because it's Tutu Atwell. I don't think the other dude starts with a T either.
It can't be two T's, right? Let me hear. I guess we can do that.
Yeah. And the Colts defense to me has also been a little shaky. I hope Matt
It is
Stafford.
Puka Nacua.
There we go. I hope Matt Stafford can keep it rolling. He had an off week last week, but can't win them all. So I'm going to go with the Rams 24-21 over the Colts.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing in this game is Anthony Richardson is playing instead of Gardner Minshew. And I think Minshew's always good for that 1 week where he just comes out in that first week that he's got a chance to start where he's just full, just all adrenaline and just like pretty much powers the team himself. And when that's over, the team kind of loses its steam. I think the Rams win because I think Stafford's just a better player. And yeah, I just don't think the Colts are that great. They've had, I mean, they played, I think Baltimore just underperformed, and Baltimore's kind of been living on the edge these past few weeks. They've kind of been under the guise of being a good team. Yeah. But I don't know how good they actually are. I think this is just like they're just a shiny, we are what we've always been situation. But yeah, another team like the Texans, I don't trust the Colts to win 2 games in a row. LA played really tough in Cincinnati the other night, and it kind of felt like it was always like Cincinnati was in control of that game, but it was a close game. But I think Stafford's able to get this one done, and I'd say they win 21-17. That's what we'll go with. We'll go with.
There we go. Moving on from that one because that one's not that interesting. To another not so interesting one. Vikings at Panthers. Who you got?
Yeah, another, like you said, not interesting one. Vikings aren't going 0-4. They'll win this game and kind of delay, like, see, guys, the season's not over. They'll delay it one more week. I think Kirk is actually probably going to go off on this game. He's been going off. Like I said, he's having like an MVP caliber season if they weren't 0-3.
He's number 1 in passing yards and like passing touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah, he had like 3 passing touchdowns last week or something. But yeah, I just think they're going to win that game fairly handily. I'm going to go 35-10.
Yeah, me and you have the same thoughts basically. Both Kirk Cousins and Jefferson leads their position groups in yards. Like they have 2 people leading in their position groups in yards, and they have yet to win a game, which is the wildest thing. So I think the Vikings' luck has to get better eventually. And Young's coming back this game too, and I kind of think that hurts the Panthers a little bit more than Dalton playing because I feel like Dalton could probably make something happen against his lackluster Vikings defense. But since it's a rookie quarterback, I think he'll get a little lost again out there since he hasn't really proved anything. So I'm going Vikings 26-10.
Yeah. Yeah, I do hate to say it, but like Bryce Young, and like you were saying, like you're not like giving up on him just yet, but he does seem to have that. I feel like in the first few weeks you can tell if like a guy has what it takes, and like you see it in Stroud, you've seen it in spurts with Anthony Richardson that he can play. But like with Bryce Young, it just kind of he looks not right out there. Like everything's clunky. He's missing wide open guys. Like he's just kind of, and he can kind of play himself out of this for sure. But I just don't. It doesn't look natural. Like it doesn't look.
Well, if there's a week where he's gonna show flashes, this is the week because he's playing the Vikings. So like after this, I mean,
playing some Swiss cheese.
It could happen. We could be looking totally dumb here. Like Vikings are gonna roll.
No, it's 42. It's 70-20.
Yeah.
Panthers. Yeah. All right. What's our next one? Because that was another uninteresting one.
Bucks at Saints. Kamara's coming back. So I think the Saints offense is probably gonna take a leap this week. And I know Winston's playing quarterback, but last time Winston started for the Saints, like he wasn't bad. Like he had a decent start to the year before he tore his ACL when he was starting that one year. And both teams are kind of a mirror of each other. Like they have a solid defense, they got pieces at receiver, but there's questions around the quarterback. I'm gonna lean because they're the home team to the Saints, 26-24.
Yeah, yeah. I think Tampa kind of started to show their true selves last week. You kind of saw what Baker kind of came back to earth last week against the Eagles, and another case where they played two teams early in the year that aren't exactly juggernauts. And like you said, Tampa, I think their defense is good. They got good receivers, but they're just like Baker's not getting it done. I think they should eventually try and move on to Trask because like Baker's not your
Oh,
future.
I
So
think Baker. I'm not giving up hope that he's gonna miss the playoffs. I have him in the playoffs. I think. Did I have him
I
in the
don't know.
playoffs?
I don't think he doesn't move the needle for me, and I think you have an opportunity to. Everything you've seen from Trask and what you've heard about Trask is that he's got all of the like traits of a starting NFL quarterback. Like they all said, he's got the size, he's got the arm, like, and that he looked like the thing to me is like that the two of them looked not that different from each other in training camp, and they had some ups and downs during training camp. There was quite a few videos that came out that were a lot of downs during training camp, but
Wait, what happened? I missed those.
it was just a lot of videos of them like just running normal drills where it was just the receiver just running a little out and they were just overthrowing them and like they just could not hit them. And like over and they would alternate quarterbacks and they
I'm not
keep
gonna
doing it,
lie though. In that game against the Eagles, Mike Evans dropped like 3 balls.
including a touchdown.
Yeah.
Um, but to me, for this game and specifically, um, yeah, I think like Tampa's kind of just coming to what they're going to be, and I think New Orleans is better than them just in general. New Orleans defense is legit. Jameis is a good quarterback, and there's an argument like that he's not that much worse than Derek Carr, and there could be an
Yeah.
argument that he's better than Carr in some aspects. So I'd say the Saints
Mr.
win this
30 for
game.
30. ESPN documentary.
I'll say Saints win it 28-20.
There we go. Now, this is the big one for you. The Commanders at the Eagles.
Am I going
Where's he
first?
going? Yeah,
Okay.
where's he going?
So last week I chose the Bills. This week I'm going with the Commanders.
Oh shit, he's doing it.
I going into that game last week, I there was optimism I had, but I was also like, this feels like fool's gold. And like I just feel like there was too much like good vibes going into this game. Whenever there's too many good vibes, especially with the Redskins, whatever you want to call them, there's always bound to be a huge drop off. So I think Howell got it out of his system. They are clearly, I think, if Bieniemy is the offensive coordinator, he needs to be going to be making some serious adjustments to how they're playing this game, how they're going to protect Howell from himself and from just a bad offensive line. I think the Eagles have been playing. They've played three teams now who are, you know, subpar at best. Like New England is the best team that they've played, and I don't know how good New England is. And not saying that the Commanders are like these world beaters, but I do think our defense is really good. And I think Sam Howell has shown flashes that he can really be great. Like he's shown flashes of like insane accuracy, just making the plays that he needs to make, making plays that you might not necessarily think are there, but he somehow makes it happen. Now, last week he showed he can do all the opposite too. But that you're going to get that with young quarterbacks, and everything that they've said about him is that he self-corrects, he doesn't make the same mistakes twice, and that he's very mature about his kind of development and everything, and kind of is very coachable. So I think they win. I think the Eagles have kind of been stumbling on themselves. They're lucky to have won these games, and they've also, like, their running game has been absolutely insane. Like, they 300 yards in 2 games. Like, there's no way you can keep that up. And this is all going to be on the freezing cold takes in about 24 hours here probably. But I just think our defensive line is able to not completely stop it, but stifle it. And I'm going to go. I think we win this game 31-28. I mean, the Commanders. Commanders 31-28. And Brian Robinson needs to have over 53 yards and a touchdown for my bank account.
See, the only reason I have to go with the Eagles is because I've been picking against them since last year, because I've been like, that run game can't be like that every game. That their defense is gonna have a off game. Jalen Hurts is gonna not cost them the game, but it never happens. It just never has happened to me. So I have to go with the Eagles. I think I'm gonna stop picking against them until they prove me wrong. Because they've been proving me wrong when I've been like, they're gonna lose. I've said it for last year, every playoff round I predicted they would lose. Besides the Super Bowl. And then they've lost. So maybe I'm just the issue, and hopefully this flips it your way.
Yeah,
maybe it flips it your way. Yeah. So I'm gonna go Eagles. Their O-line and D-line are just absolutely phenomenal. They're getting pushed on both sides, and when you do that, you're gonna win most games. Like you said, their run game has just been impeccable, as Mike Tyson would say.
Well, the thing to me is, if you can, like I said, it's not just that their running game has been effective, it's that they are playing incredibly over the mean, right? DeAndre Swift has had the 2 best games of his career, and the 2 best games that an Eagles running back has had in a decade. And
but
it's can you keep that up? And I think it's if you can stifle them enough to the point where you need to rely on Hurts to throw it. And I'm not saying that Hurts is a bad quarterback at all, or that it's if he's throwing it, there's no chance we lose. But with the way he's been playing, he's holding the ball for a long time, and he kind of has that privilege to do that, because it's that offensive line is very good. They're giving him a ton of time, but it's at the same time when he's throwing, he's taking all the time. There's a reason A.J. Brown was not happy during that game, because I just don't know if it's taken him a little bit to get accustomed to this offense with Brian Johnson. But I think I could obviously very easily, more than likely, see the Eagles winning, but I just have a feeling the Commanders have something for them.
Well, I hope you're right, but I'm picking the Eagles 35-20. The airline just is too good for me not to pick them anymore.
All right, then we'll fuck you.
America's game of the week.
Yeah.
The 2 shitters. Broncos at Bears.
Yeehaw. Let's ride.
This one's gonna be electric. You got 70-20, but the team that had 20. And then you got 14 straight losses or 13 straight losses.
Yeah. And also got blown out in their own right last week, too, 41-14 or something.
Yeah, but no one noticed because Taylor Swift was there.
Can you put that into perspective for a second? So, a combined 100. Their combined scores last week were 111-34.
They got both,
and they're on the same field.
Dude, if they combined, they wouldn't have beat both teams. Just the Chiefs scored 41. Like, that is wild. That is wild.
That's unreal.
Oh my god! But I think Wilson's playing
They
for
would have
like
needed
his
another
career
touchdown to
this
tie.
week. Yeah. Wilson's playing for his career this week, though. Like, if he loses to the Bears, like, it's over. Like, you got to retire on the spot. Like, no one wants to see you in Denver. They're kicking you off the plane. Like, it's not good. And to me, I'm leaning Broncos also because at least they have shown their offense can do a little bit of something sometimes, while the Bears have shown that there is nothing going on with that team anywhere. So I'm leaning Broncos 28-14.
Yeah,
Marvin
I think the
Mims gonna go
Broncos,
crazy.
the Marvin Mims game.
Yeah, I need him.
I think I'm kind of on the same like kind of page as you, where this is a game. I think the Broncos are still under the desperate kind of mindset of like we can still compete. We are still a competitive team. And if they lose this game, like it's all bets are. I mean, all bets are all kind of off anyway. But I think Chicago has kind of mailed it in. It seems like the team's kind of given up on Justin Fields. I don't know if you heard that soundbite of DJ Moore talking to somebody. I forget who it was, but they're like, they're not using you right. And he's like, tell me about it. And like, it just doesn't seem like that team is at all like into this season at all. So
I wouldn't
I
be
think
either.
Denver wins somehow, some way. I think they do put up some points here. I think they'll probably go 27-20. No, I'm going to go Broncos win. And it's some kind of fluke that Chicago
27-20.
fucks up, and that's why they win.
I think if Justin Fields is gonna have a good game, the Broncos are the team for him to do it against. But also, if Russell Wilson has to play for his career, I'd want to be playing against the Bears.
Yeah, if there's a get-right game after a 70-20 loss, it's against these guys. Because apparently the Cardinals are not the get-right game this year at all.
No, the Cardinals are not. They've been sleepers all year long. They've been, and I think they're kind of being slept on a little bit this week. But I mean, I don't think they're gonna win. But I think they'll cover the spread. But moving on.
What's strange to me is they're keeping Kyler on the pup, which to me says that they are not at all in the mindset of trying to compete this year. And to me, it's like, okay, if you're not going to compete and you're just going to kind of roll with Josh Dobbs and like see what happens, then trade Kyler.
Yeah.
Like trade Kyler now, because it's like if he's not your future, if you guys are already kind of ready to move on from him, like what are you doing? Just like keeping him there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, they should. If you're gonna roll with Dobbs, Dobbs has proved that he can play a little bit this year. So, I mean, I always thought he could play a little bit. In Tennessee, wasn't a good fit for him, but I think with that offensive coach, it's shown that he can get something done in the NFL. And if they're talking about trading Kyler, get it out of the way as quick as possible because you got to be committed to your guy. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next game. This one's probably gonna be one of the closer games this week. One of the best games this week, I would think. It's gonna be the Ravens at the Browns, and the Browns' defense looks pretty legit. Like I think they've only allowed 21 or 20 something like that first 21? Downs all season. 21.
Yeah, Myles Garrett's on a tear right now. He's like on that short list of defensive players who could win MVP right now.
Someone just traded me Brandon Ayuk for Brees Hall, and I'm like, I fleeced this guy.
There you go. Sorry, wait, did you get Tutu Atwell?
No, I got Brandon Ayuk. I messed up. I meant to say Brandon Ayuk for Brees Hall. He also gave me Elijah Moore. I was like, two people for Brees Hall? He's been
There you
doing
go.
dog shit the past couple weeks, and I was fine because Tamara came back and I had him.
There you go. He traded for the name.
Yeah.
So what's the game? Ravens Browns, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a game. Gonna be a close one. AFC North matchup. They always are. Because the Ravens defense is good too.
Mm-hmm.
But Deshaun looked like he was kind of re-finding himself last week.
He
And
really
if
did.
that happens, then Cleveland could very well win that division. I think, especially with the way things are right now. So I think I'm going to go Cleveland wins this game in a weird one because it's always weird. I'm going to go 17-13. Cleveland wins.
Yeah. Yeah. I went with a weird one too. Like you said, Deshaun looked really good last week. I think he's finding that form also. Especially this Ravens offense is a little really lackluster for the first 3 weeks. Like they had a decent game
Mm-hmm.
against Cincinnati, but it wasn't anything special that like we're used to with the Lamar and that Ravens offense. And they're still just riddled with injuries, and the Browns defense is just absolutely wrecking shop this year. So Deshaun doesn't even have to play that great, I feel like, to win this game. Like, as long as he makes the plays in the key moments, they'll win this game. Like, in the fourth quarter, as long as he's getting those first downs, getting them into field goal range, they'll win this game. I got him winning 24-23 in a weird one.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely going to be a weird one.
Yeah.
We got ourselves
Definitely
a big old weird one.
There's going to be like 5 fumbles.
There's going to be UFOs and shit.
Imagine.
Players.
Just abduction mid-game. Just
Yeah.
the whole stadium teleports.
Yeah. There's going to be like some weird drone that everybody questions. All right. Before it gets too weird, let's move on to the next one.
Bengals at Titans. So I wasn't really impressed with Burrow that much last week. A lot of people were like, "He's back, baby, he's back," and I was like,
Mm-mm.
he doesn't look that the same still. He still has that knee injury that's like it's visibly bothering him out on the field. T. Higgins has been a no-show all year, basically. Like, they won last week, yes, but like they didn't throw for a touchdown in that game. Wasn't really that impressed. It was more their defense. And I think Vrabel is gonna really have this team ready to go after getting embarrassed kind of by the Browns last week. And he always has that defense prepared. So I'm actually gonna go with the Titans 23-20 this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think, if anything, Joe Burrow, I think, kind of confirmed everybody's suspicions that he's still very hurt. And he was kind of like, the offense just didn't look right. Like he was force feeding it to Jamar Chase, which I think kind of like felt like, okay, he's like just not seeing the field very well. Like he's just like, throw it to Jamar and hope something good happens.
Yeah,
And
I
he
mean,
had a few passes. He had one pass to T.
ain't the
Higgins
worst
over the
strategy.
middle. It's not. It could be a lot worse. But he had one pass to T. Higgins in the fourth quarter. I think it was like a crosser at like it was like at the Rams 40 or something, and T. Higgins was able to kind of run after the catch and get down to like into the red zone. And I was like, that looked good. But I mean, it was a struggle for them to score. And
Yeah.
I just don't know how that bodes for them. Now, Tennessee didn't look great either. So for that reason, I think, I'm going to go with Cincy.
The Bongles.
I'm going to go 20-13. No, 20-10. 20-10.
20-10.
Cincinnati wins.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on to another thriller of the game. The Chargers. Okay, the Raiders at the Chargers. The battles of the two best coaches in the league. You got Brandon Staley on one side. You got Josh McDaniels, Mr. I don't think we can score 8 points in a drive.
The battle of the bastards.
Yeah, the battle of just.
How about not?
What?
Not to make light of the situation, but how about Josh McDaniels just catching accusations of killing Aaron Hernandez?
Chandler Jones was going wild. And then he goes, I think I'm the reincarnated Aaron Hernandez.
My favorite part of the video, though, is when he takes his hat off. He takes his hat off and he's like, "You think Chico killed himself?" And then he's just like, he starts like a ooh. Like I said, I don't want to make like light of the situation, but that was insane. And then he just got arrested, didn't he? And released.
Yeah, he did. He did. Well, who knows? Maybe Josh McDaniels wanted him arrested so he could get him again. So he should put him down.
It's like, why did the offensive coordinator of the Patriots want him killed? Like, why?
That's the wildest conspiracy theory. Like, you could have gone somewhere else when someone killed him, but like the OC, the OC went in there and said,
like, why would a moron, a blatant idiot, like, how did he facilitate for Aaron Hernandez to get murdered behind bars?
You think Chico killed himself? I'm the reincarnated Aaron.
It's like, all right, this is not. He had a rough.
I was like, whoa. And then I saw that he was arrested. I was like, probably a good idea. If he's saying he's the new Aaron Hernandez.
They're going to have to rewatch all his tape of last season and see if he took like a big hit at the end of the year or something, or maybe that touchdown that he had against the Patriots last year kind of went to his head or something. But it's
maybe, maybe I have no clue, man. Like, it's just out of nowhere. Like, he started off making just accusations that like something weird happened with the like owners and like a sexual assault or something on like his niece or nephew or something like that. Like, he said
some weird stuff.
Don't quote me, but like it was something like on those parameters. And now I'm just like, oh, that was all in his head too. Chico. Oh my God.
Dude, the Jones family though, like that's one family you do not want coming after you. Like, you have Chandler Jones, you have John Jones, who's like arguably the best UFC fighter ever, and then Arthur Jones was a nose tackle in the NFL too. Like,
what do you think
just
John
insane.
and Arthur are thinking?
Can you imagine the pillow fights in that house?
There were no pillows. John Jones was rocking their shit. Like, that's John Jones.
Dude, maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's like it wasn't the football career; it was the pillow fights with his brother when they were younger. He was just taking shots right to the temple.
John Jones was just putting it in his face.
Just a pillow fight. A pillow fight. It's the only pillow fight where a kid was like did that thing that the fighters do. He was like grabbing the pillow like on the ground when they're like knocked out. He's like, "Oh my God! Oh my God!"
He knocks him to the ground. He comes in with
the The mom's like, "Whoa!"
Dad comes and separates him. Let him catch his breath. We're going at it again.
And Chandler's like a 12-year-old Chandler Jones is like getting up off the mattress. Like, oh. All right, what's the matchup? It's Raiders and what?
It's Raiders Chargers. I have the Chargers winning this just because their offense is explosive and Jimmy G just won't be able to keep up in this game. I'm taking them 38-24 as long as Brandon Staley doesn't choke away somehow.
Yeah, I was going to say, despite Brandon Staley's best efforts to try and lose this game, I think the Chargers will find a way to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of in the SpongeBob movie when Patrick's like, when like King Neptune's like, "I'll give you guys 7 days," and Patrick's like, "We could do it in 5." Like
that's
Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley's whole career. Never made a good decision.
No. And so, yeah, I'm going to say Chargers win this game 31-17.
Yeah. Yeah. On to an interesting one. Could be a sleeper upset alert. Patriots at Cowboys. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't think the Cowboys lose 2 games in a row that they're supposed to win. I think they win this game. I think it's definitely a close game. I'm going to go Cowboys win it 24-21. But I don't think the Patriots are that good. And I think the Cowboys kind of have to like rethink their offensive scheme. And like I don't think there's any problem with relying on Tony Pollard to run the ball more. And I feel like they aren't using him enough. And like a big reason they felt comfortable getting rid of Zeke, not only because Zeke sucked the last few seasons, but was also the fact that he's explosive. Like he's able to kind of make something out of nothing. And like I think just relying on Tony Pollard is able to kind of take some pressure off Dak to have to make big throws. And if they do that, I think they'll win this game.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I'm gonna agree with you. Patriots aren't gonna win this game. But if a team could just take if a coach could take what the other coach did last week to beat a team and do it, I think it is Bill Belichick who is able to do that. But Mike and Dak have never had back-to-back. They've only had back-to-back losses once since they've been together. And the Cowboys, I just think, are going to come out hot. Like, I feel like they're going to be angry as shit that they were embarrassed last week and just absolutely roll early so they can just coast late. I got this game being like 31-15 because Mac is just, it's not a good offense. He's kind of running for his life. And that offense is just lacks explosion at all.
And it seems like he's kind of losing the locker room a little bit. There's apparently been some rumors coming out about Mac Jones that aren't the best. So
yeah, well,
there's already been accusations of him
check.
being like a dirty player.
Have you seen Did you see the video Sauce Gardner posted that just didn't show anything? Like
It's
there
like
was
he grabbed
another
me.
angle. There was another angle like that showed that he does it. But Sauce is like, here's the angle where you don't see anything.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
so many
it's not
memes.
good.
I've seen so many
Yeah,
memes
what
of
is it?
that
It's like
Flash. The Flash
he
and the
grabbed his
principal
dong,
officer.
right? Isn't
He's
that
like,
what he said?
right there.
Yeah. I know he did it. Don't birdie me. Another Pixar reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, wasn't it like he grabbed his dong or something, right? Isn't that what Sauce said? Or he like
Well, you like trying to cup checked him. Like, you know,
yeah,
that cup check where you do a little tap, you're like,
yeah. Yeah, what if he
dirty
went, yeah,
player.
Mac actually went. Yeah.
Imagine he just
Just grabbed it like a train whistle. Whoo, whoo.
Everyone's just on the field like,
Yeah.
he starts twirling around by it.
Throws him into the upper deck. And no one knows how to like stop it because it's like if they do like get in there, they'll like get hit by Sauce. They're like, hey, whoa, whoa. He's like, tries to get back into the huddle. He's like,
oh.
all right,
Well,
what's our next game?
Mac's kind of just been a dirty player though, like his career. There's a lot of clips of him doing dirty shit. A lot of clips. Next game, this is the one I talked about earlier. Cardinals, 49ers. 14-point spread here. I think the Cardinals will cover the point spread, honestly, but I think it will be a closer game than most people are expecting because I think the Cards are for some reason just like hard to like knock out of, like, I don't know. Like, they're hard to knock off, I feel like. They're a sleeper team.
Mhm.
You don't think they're going to be tough competition. And they come in there and play you tough every week, it seems like. And then I think the 49ers, though, when it comes down to it, just talent be talent. They match up better than any other team. Like, they're going to, talent-wise, they outmatch everyone else they are going to play, especially the Cardinals. Like, Cardinals got a couple players. No one like the 49ers, so I'm going 49ers 30-17. Close.
Yeah, I think this is a game where the
Barely
Cardinals
covered.
do end up. I think the Cardinals do end up getting smoked in this one. Like I think they're gonna the Niners defense is gonna draw things up to confuse Dobbs, and they're just too good of a team. And at the end of the day, the Cardinals are like they're feisty, but they're not a good team at all. So I think I'm gonna go 41-14. Niners win, and it's a close first half, but then in the second half, it really gets away from them.
Yeah, makes sense. Another, Sunday Night Football. This great matchup for Sunday Night Football. Chiefs at Jets. I think Taylor Swift will be in the audience again. Aaron Rodgers will be there, I think, too. He won't be playing.
Yeah. Rodgers will be there. Taylor Swift will be there.
Imagine if like Jets go down 20-0 and then Rodgers just wheels out in the chair. Just
stands up, takes one snap, tears his other Achilles.
He's just in the wheelchair out there, just
not even looking, just like throwing it behind his head. But yeah, I think I saw ticket prices were like skyrocketing simply because Taylor Swift will be in the building. Like this stuff is out of control. Like this is like ridiculous.
Dog, it's the Swifties. The
like imagine just
Swifties
trying
are
to
like they're different. They're a different
it's
breed than
insane.
Swifties.
Like it's just absolutely. There's no reason for this. Like there's absolutely just no reason for this stuff. And
I saw something.
Like just to look at her, like what are you gonna do? Like it's just like you're like
see her in the stands, just like that's my girl.
Yeah. Yep, she took a
But then
she took a piss with 8 minutes left in the first quarter.
Imagine being a Chiefs fan trying to get into one of the playoff games and fucking Taylor Swift shows up, and next thing you know, you got 30,000 people that don't even know football at your playoff game.
Yeah, just all trying to just literally just be in the same like building,
climbing
like
in, helping each other up to the press box where she's at.
It's just insane. I was telling my dad, I was like, you end up feeling like bad for her because it's like, yeah, she's a millionaire and like maybe the most famous person on the planet right now, but it's like she can't do anything. Like she can't go to Sheets.
It's
like,
that Michael
like
Jackson effect. You know how like Michael Jackson like had to rent out a whole ass grocery store to shop like normal? Like, have you ever seen that video where he's like, "Oh, it's fun shopping like this"?
Yeah, like it's like, and Michael Jordan too. Like Michael Jordan couldn't like leave his hotel room. Like
then he's like, "Oh, just, you even have the kids."
It is. It's just insane. And then that's why like you have people like Michael Jackson who have like their own fucking world at their house, like the Neverland Ranch or whatever, and it's just like literal amusement park.
Yeah, that's a wild name. That's a wild name.
Among other things, a lot of locks.
A wild name. But yeah. Chiefs are gonna dominate this game against the Jets. It's gonna be 38-10. T Swift's there. Travis Kelce's about to punt a ball to her in the press box. He's gonna score a touchdown, punt it all the way up 3 stories. And that would be the story of the game.
Just a howitzer. It just slides through her hands, bloody nose.
Then Mrs. Kelsey saves her, just like his mom, just one hands that shit.
But yeah, I'm on the same page as you. the Jets are quickly losing steam. There's been a lot of reports this week that Salah's losing the locker room because of his support for Zach Wilson. And Zach Wilson bought the entire team ice cream. Yeah, he's just so it's just getting really bad there. And
ice cream.
Yeah, as like a token of like, hey, come on, guys, it's not that bad.
Not give him all out your run. He was a number 3 pick.
Yeah,
he could afford way more than ice cream.
Yeah, probably like store brand too. It wasn't even like Haagen-Dazs. It was like giant
Not
brand.
even Ben and Jerry's. It's that.
Only vanilla.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
But yeah, I think this game is over relatively early. Like the Jets defense, I think, is going to do a lot of this, like keeping them in the game for a while, and then it ends up just kind of turning into a shit show. I think this will be a game a lot like that. All right, so not to go off topic here, but the Tides are in the AAA championship. They went into the bottom of the ninth inning up 7-2. It is now 7-6 with 2 outs.
Oh, jeez. The threat.
Yeah, they are
is this
fumbling
for the
hard. They've given up 3 home. Yeah, they've given up 3 home runs in the ninth inning.
If we win this game, do we win it all? Or is this a series?
The Tides do, yeah. No, they win it. Like, they win the championship. So they need one more out. That's all they need. But yeah, I think the Chiefs win this game 38-13. We'll go 38-13.
There we go. And final game, Seahawks, Giants. Another one that I think is pretty clear who's going to win. Daniel Jones has not won a primetime game yet in his career. Seattle is also getting Jamal Adams back this week. Seattle scored 37 points in their last 2 games. I like what Seattle has going for them. I think Geno Smith really has solidified that last year wasn't really a fluke. And Daniel is nothing to me. Like, Daniel Jones is hitting that Justin Fields tier for me at this point, where it's like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? So I'm going Seahawks 35-20.
Yeah, I think the Giants are quickly realizing that maybe Daniel Jones, like, just being, playable isn't like the only asset you need, especially when your schedule gets tougher and people are more game planning for you to be a better team. The Giants, like I said it week 1, they didn't get better this offseason. Like, they didn't make any effort to really get any better wide receivers. They didn't really get better on defense. They got younger, and they gave Daniel Jones that big contract, and it was kind of just like, we can just build on last year. And it's like, well, last year you got your ass handed to you anytime you played a good team, and you beat bad teams. You won a few games that you shouldn't have won, but it's like relying on that to happen 2 years in a row was just a bad decision. And like I said, Seattle, I think Geno is playing really, really well. I think Seattle wins this game 31-21.
Okay. Well, there we go.
And just a little update, the Norfolk Tides have won the AAA championship.
So the
Baltimore Orioles minor league affiliate are world champions. Does the big league club follow suit? We will find out.
I hope so.
At the end. We'll see. We shall see. All right,
disagreed on 3 this week.
3.
A lot like week 1.
We're back. We're back on the train. There you go.
Hopefully one of us goes 16-0. That would be wild. If I do 16-0, that means we're tied.
Damn, you're right. Yeah. There you go. You need a perfect week to get back on.
Perfect week.
All right, well, I guess that wraps up episode 5 here. We got some pick'ems. We talked a little Chandler Jones. The Norfolk Tides are champions, so everybody's happy, right?
Yes, we're hyped.
And
O's,
I guess we'll be
quick O's. O's are gonna do it. I have real
O's
faith.
did it. O's clinched the O's clinched the AL East. Now they will be playing in the divisional series on Saturday, next week from today. And they have clinched home field advantage all the way through until the World Series. And the only way that they would not have home field advantage in the World Series is if they're playing the Braves. So good looks for the old O's. Hopefully this week they stay warm, stay fresh, so that they're not coming out like deer in the
It is
headlights for that
getting frisky
big
with my
matchup.
bet now. Like now it's time where I'm like getting nervous because if the O's win, like I have to take the long hard look at my fandom for the Steelers and be like, do I commit fully or do I cash out?
I think you cash it out.
Yeah, everyone's told me that. Everyone's telling me to cash out. But like, if the Steelers somehow won the bowl and I cashed out, I'd have to cut my dick off.
Well, how much would you win if it happens?
$40K.
And is there a cash out currently?
Yeah, but I can't pull it up because I'm not in Maryland. I'd have to text my mom. I am wondering what it's at though, because it was at like $20 by the time I came down here, and I only put 10.
And how much did you put on it?
10.
There you go. They were just like, come on, just double your money.
Yeah.
Come on.
They're like, oh shit. They're like, shit. My thing is, what if like the Steelers are like 8-1 week 9 by the time like the O's win the series, and I'm like looking at they're like $25K. We'll give it to you now.
Yeah, you take that immediately, but I don't know how that's gonna happen. All right, let's wrap this up so that people aren't just listening to our conversation. All right, thank you all for listening. If you listened this far in, you know the drill. Please give us all your information so we can contact the police and put them on your trail. Thanks for listening. See you guys. See you on Tuesday.
Adios. See you Tuesday.